Mama, dirty the roads down.
Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. It's the Raiders in possession of the ball as we get back into the action in quarter number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Green 39! Green 39!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Operating from the gun, Shelton. It's caught by Coleman. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3, get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues.
Gone! 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 All right, now, look at 56.
Now Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Looking long for Thomas. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And the Raiders have got him. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Throwing is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
Now. 319! 319! Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. From the gun, Jackson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Shelton got his man complete over the middle. That's Hamilton. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
3-19.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on third and long. Shelton. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. Escaping the pressure right. On the run. He'll let this go. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. Thomas, the intended target.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. I think it's intercepted.
Throwing to start the drive. Shelton.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw on second down. Shelton. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On third down, it's Barber. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ross on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. Jackson. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one.
Heard a coach talk about...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And now Oakland ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Shelton nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the defense. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the...
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. I don't even know what to say. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for that's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Throwing on first down. Shelton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Now this offense ready to head back out there.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally, someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone to throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there on 3rd down. 52 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And now here is another interception. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense as a scouting group?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown! A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this offense is running away with this one.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver? No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it'll be a turnover. This is going the other way. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get out to the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jackson. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 23. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss.
I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. On 3rd down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. 45 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. There to stop him was Darius Leonard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. Here it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the gun, Shelton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what...
He's got daylight past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to get this back to within at least some measure here of respectability. Gonzalez good on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense.
And Owen caught it up, and the Raiders pick it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, Shelton. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st down, Shelton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this will be scooped up by the defense. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now Jackson on second down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. Now Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Boy, going for it at this stage in the second half, back in the shadow of your own goalpost. Explanation, please, Mr. Davis.
I'm not sure I'm going to get...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I feel a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
That's caught inside the 20. And a huge play that time. 41 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 11 more on that one, and another first down. They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind. But he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Throwing on first down. Shelton nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Operating from the gun. Shelton nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. He'll look to throw. And this will be a touchdown. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one. We want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable that they even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on 2nd down. Shelton. He finds Taylor. Complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To throw on 3rd down. Shelton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. 23 yards on the play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, 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 gone.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Being chased out left. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Forced out, and a big loss here as he's taken down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal, but that winds up incomplete. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive line.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he brings it back.